Back when my grandfather was 14 years old, he was home on the family farm on his own one day, and there was a knock at the door. And that knock at the door was from the bailiff. And the bailiff was there to repossess the family farm. His mum hadn't been able to pay the mortgage on that family farm for many, many months. And somehow, at the age of 14, my grandfather managed to talk that bailiff into leaving the family farm with them. And he promised that bailiff that he would pay all that money. And he managed to do that. Over the next few years, he managed to pay back all that debt on that family farm. So we wanted to tell the story with the packaging in this whiskey release. Once again, our team here at Granddad Jack's done an amazing job. They managed to find a master craftsman, Josef, at Blue Grae, and they just happen to be around the corner from our distillery in Brisbane. It's amazing. Once you see this packaging, you understand how this craftsmanship has worked. It's just next level, and we hope that you enjoy this experience.
My name is Josef Selway. I'm a leather worker here in Brisbane. I've been working with leather for about 10 years, and Blue Grae has been in existence for about 8 of those. The process started with the Bailiff bags as a vision board. We were given a brief to create a bag that reflected Granddad Jack's life and his relationships with his bailiff. Primarily, it was to be a bag to hold the Bailiff Whiskey, the special release, but it had to have a secondary purpose as something else, so it could be reused and recycled for years and years and years. And that's our hope, really. In 10 years' time, we'll see one of these on the street being used as a laptop bag or something. That would be ideal. It's so much more than the sum of its parts. It's a celebration of craftsmanship that I've kind of inherited from the people who have taught me, much like the cooper or the distiller have learned their trades from people who have been doing it for hundreds of years before them. Every single one has been made by me with a little bit of help from my mother-in-law, but they really are handmade as much as possible.
Inside this packaging is a ledger. Back in the day, when the bailiff or people made payments in their lives, they kept a ledger. It was a handwritten ledger, and it was to see what payments they had. But unlike back in the day of my grandfather, when that ledger was put down how much money he was paying off every week, we want to bring the ledger to life in this era, in the 2000s. So the ledger's designed for you to make a note of who you had that drink with. Tell that story about the night you had that drink of that whiskey. Put it in your ledger, because our life is full of memories. And we want our family, the people who buy Granddad Jack's and visit us, to have memories about their life and their time and the people that they've met, just like we have at Granddad Jack's.
So it's the long anticipated release. It's been almost a year since our last whiskey release, and we've just kept it aging. We really wanted it at a place where it was well done, and it's also the biggest barrel we've pulled whiskey from so far. It's been aging for about 3 years and 4 months in a 100 litre medium char barrel, and it's our first ever peated whiskey. It really transformed over those 3 years. The first year it was tasting great. It was basically a white spirit, really good bones. The second year it started to taste a little bit young again and something a little bit interesting. We didn't have a lot of the depth and character that it has ended up at the 3.5 years-ish that it's at now. There's a lot of those kind of maple bacon, tobacco, cigar, campfirey feels to this one, being a peated whiskey. And it is really interesting how it's turned out. I'm really excited to showcase it to you guys with all the new packaging and something really interesting from the Gold Coast as well.
So in this book, in this release, we want to make sure that the experience was there from the absolute beginning. When you see this packaging on this new release, you feel like that. We want you to feel that passion that my grandfather must have had at 14 years old to save that family farm. So every aspect of this packaging is an experience. From the first touch point you have with it, the feeling, the texture, to when you open it, to the journey you have all the way through until you get to that bottle of whiskey. So in this whiskey release, we want to take you back in time. We want to take you back to how that felt for my grandfather, to be able to pay back that bailiff and pay that money owed on the farm.
So after more than 3 years in the making, we're finally releasing this whiskey on Friday the 29th of July. If you've missed out on previous releases and you really want to get your hands on this one, make sure to jump on our mailing list or keep an eye out on our online store on Friday the 29th to get your hands on this one. We're really excited for you guys to see it, and I hope you guys grab a bottle. Cheers.